Hi, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. This is Gurpreet Corman, and I have a guest today, Dean, who is an IT recruiter as well as a job search a job search coach as well. Got the intro wrong. Okay, so today we have a very special segment dedicated to IT professionals because, well, let's face it, during this pandemic, there's one industry that is booming and never died down, and that was the IT industry. And I've been seeing so many jobs lately, and like yesterday I think I saw over 20-30 jobs just in the IT field, just from my network alone. So I decided to do this collaboration with Dean because he's an IT recruiter and he's also a job search coach. So we want to talk about how IT professionals, so it is a dedicated segment to IT professionals just because tons of IT jobs exist right now because of the pandemic. Let's face it, pandemic shook up a lot of things and a lot of the industry started booming. For example, security, right? Like security became a big thing. E-commerce became a big thing. Working from home became a big thing. So when you're working from home, we're using all these technologies to navigate our workforces. And with working from home, also security increase, right?
Yeah.
Like security breaches are happening and all that stuff. E-commerce with these lockdowns.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
I'm not laughing. I'm laughing because my mechanism of coping with the lockdowns.
Yeah. Yeah.
um, with the lockdowns and you can't go to the store, e-commerce has boomed and a lot of people are buying online. The interesting thing is I went to Canada Post yesterday, Shoppers Drug Mart.
Yeah.
Yesterday I had to send out a mail. Oh my God, Dean, you know how big, like when I got there was no line, but after it was a huge line.
Yeah. Yeah.
Guess what? It was all returns.
Wow.
And guess which company?
Amazon.
Majority of it was Amazon, and but there was other companies, but majority it was I saw Amazon.
Yeah.
They kind of came up with a cool system. Like, listen, if you are just dropping a return and you have label and everything, just drop it off on the side. So they're
Yeah.
trying to get rid of the line. And I'm sitting, I was just laughing, and I'm like, yeah, e-commerce, right?
Yeah.
Like e-commerce has. It's not e-commerce is not a new thing, but it has grown and then emerged, right? So many industry. Now, I only covered few. In your opinion, as an IT recruiter, being in the IT industry, what have you noticed?
Yeah. I mean, there's. I mean, IT is such a hot industry, and for the IT professionals out there on the market, there are opportunities out there, folks. Right. I mean, Gurpreet gave a couple of few examples. But as a result of this new environment we're in, I think what everyone needs to be examining, Gurpreet, is how are these changes affecting the IT industry positively, right? Because problems create opportunities, and there's definitely a high demand for IT professionals right now. If you do a simple search on any of the job boards, right, LinkedIn, if you do it on Monster, on Indeed, you search for any tech-related positions, from software development to the non-technical, such as PM or BA roles. There's hundreds, thousands of tens of thousands of projects going on as a result of the pandemic that requires highly talented and skilled people that have the skills and the ability to help with these projects and these problems that are going on. So definitely, now's not a time to kick back and relax and sleep, folks. A lot of opportunities out there. IT is a very hot segment of the market.
Okay, so let's go right into our segment. I was gonna say let's kick it off. I was like, no, wait,
Yeah.
let's dive right into the segment. Guys, we do have a surprise for you guys. If you watched my LinkedIn live on Sunday, then you kind of may know what that surprise is going to be. But before I talk about the surprise, actually, maybe let's talk about the surprise. I don't know how many people are tuned in. Actually, before we get into the segment, I forgot. I want everybody to introduce yourself. Write your name. Where are you tuning in from? If you're in the IT professional, then let us know which segment in the IT industry you are from. Don't ever lose out on any opportunity for networking. Now, this is a prime example of networking because, listen, like we're all tuned in. You're all tuned in. There's tons of us tuned in together. Who you don't know who's watching who's here. So introduce yourself. We don't know you. You don't know us. Maybe you know us by reading our LinkedIn post, or you tune into our lives. But engagement, I find every single time so many people are losing out on tuning into these lives by basically not introducing yourself. So take a moment and introduce yourself to us, to everybody here. So there's about 31 people. So introduce yourself, show some love to our segment as well. You know, like, celebrate. If you find anything insightful, hit that little button.
Right, Bob, yeah.
It's insightful, right? So introduce yourself, and let's see. So who's tuned in? I know there's a delay from StreamYard, but YouTube, Facebook, let us know. So let's take a few minutes to see who is tuned in from who. Oh, Ranjit. Hi, Ranjit. She's from UK.
Hey, how's it going, Ranjit?
Jasmeet from Brampton.
Hope I know Jasmeet. Yeah, how's it going, Jasmeet? Good to see you here.
Okay, that's Ranjit. This is interesting. Satbir Singh, Damai. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. From Gujarat, India. Cool. Wow. I think India is another country that's, I think, really booming in the tech space.
Absolutely.
Right now I'm studying in BCIT, Vancouver, Canada, as part-time student, and love to work in the IT field. Oh, cool. Okay. Hi, Shashang. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name incorrect. I'm here from Ottawa. IT professional with 3+ years experience and having CCNA certification. Anybody know, Dean, you know what CCNA is?
That has to do with networking. It's a Cisco certification.
Cisco. Okay, I'm looking for IT networking domain jobs. Great. Hi, Shiva. Harmangaveer Singh from Hamilton. Sorry if I'm butchering anyone's names. Okay, great. My name is Paul from Toronto. Great, Toronto.
Nice.
Vaughn, talent acquisition specialist.
Hey, Kostov, how's it going?
You know him?
Yeah, I know Kostov. Yeah.
Okay.
Shout out to Kostov.
Karan and Dean. Okay, both of us.
Hey, Karan, I know Karan as well. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing great.
Okay, so guys, here's a surprise. Before we jump into the segment, thank you for everybody for continue those comments. Introduce yourself. What type of professional you are, and maybe what are you looking to get out of today. So let those comments keep coming in. We do have a surprise, so I want to kind of talk about the surprise. So if you tuned into my Sunday segment, then you maybe have an idea, maybe you don't. But Sunday, I switched things up last minute, and I decided to just invite people to talk to me live, and I dropped the live link where you can join. So I'm going to do the same thing today. So we're going to spend about maybe 15-20 minutes talking about how you can get hired in 30 days. And then we'll kick it off with, instead of doing Q&A where you're typing your questions, feel free to type your questions, but we're going to kick it off. I'm going to switch things up where you can actually get coached by me and Dean live right here today. So the segment may go over. When I did this on Sunday, end up being close to almost 2-hour segment. So you can get coached by us live right here today if you're tuned into LinkedIn. And if you're not tuned in right now, then you lose out on this opportunity. But guys, 2 coaches.
Take advantage of it, folks. Okay? Take advantage.
2 coaches. One is an HR professional. Okay, so I bring a different perspective. Dean is a recruiter, IT recruiter, so he's gonna have different perspective. Now both of us actually do coach people on job search. Both of us do coach. Third, last thing, we both have a program that we put together just for IT professionals on getting hired in 30 days. So that is actually starting next week. This is our 3rd collaboration that we're running this bootcamp. It is a bootcamp program. So take advantage today to tune in. I mean, once I drop that link, I will drop that link shortly. You can hop on to this live with us. I just have one condition, that you be located in Canada and US. If you are outside of these two countries, unfortunately, both Dean and I have never worked outside of Canada. I definitely haven't. Dean, you haven't either, right?
Yeah, so I have not recruited outside of North America.
Okay, so both of us have never recruited outside of North America. Both of us have never worked in outside of Canada, North America. So it's kind of hard for us to, we don't want to give, inappropriate or wrong advice because every country is different and how countries operate and recruit are different, right? So I'm going to drop that link shortly where you can come on live with us right now and get coached. We will troubleshoot your job search problems, especially in the IT segment, because Dean is an IT recruiter. So keeping that in mind, we will pick IT professionals first. So don't lose out on that opportunity. I will be dropping that link very shortly. Let me do that now so that you can see that we are not kidding.
Yeah, and any questions, folks, right? Any questions, go. Myself and Gurpreet, like we're pretty straight to the point and direct in our responses. So this is not going to be us, motivating you and getting you happy and excited. We do want you to be happy and excited, but we're going to be sharing practical, real world tips and advice. So make sure that you take advantage of this. Again, if you're an IT professional in North America, what Gurpreet is saying is that's where we'd be able to add the most value, and providing you with advice based on our own personal experiences. Gurpreet working in HR, for clients across North America. Myself recruiting for IT across North America as well.
Also, I forgot to mention, I do have an IT degree, and I have done a lot of recruitment in IT as well. So I've actually recruited in FE industry, every field, every type of position. So I do understand IT, obviously probably not to the level of an IT professional working in IT, but I do have a background. I have a degree in IT. So if you want to join, I've dropped the link, but we will only invite you once we have finished our segment. So first 15-20 minutes of this segment is about getting hired in 30 days. So we are going to go over how you can get hired in 30 days. Now, this segment is dedicated for IT professionals just because the IT job market is really, really hot in North America. So we don't want to, that's what we're targeting, but that doesn't mean that these tips and advice will not work. Even will also work for those that are not in IT. Okay, so I'm gonna put Dean on the spot. I'm gonna get him to go over some tips as an IT recruiter, as a job search coach, on how people right now can get hired in 30 days. Guys, we're not kidding when we say you can get hired in 30 days. I know someone messaged me the other day and say it's too good to be true. I don't know if you're bullshitting. You might be lying. I see your posts. They're very motivated, but I think you might be lying. So we're not lying when we say you can get hired in 30 days. I've been helping people get jobs and land jobs in 30 days since 2019. I created that program called Land a Job in 30 Days, and I have successfully helped. Now, keep in mind that landing a job in 30 days is no joke.
Yeah.
We're not saying it's easy. We're not saying, hey, in your sleep, you can land a job in 30 days, right? To land a job in 30 days, it requires commitment. It requires you to be a hustler. It requires you to be a go-getter. We have the strategies, we have the approach that you should be doing, and we're there to help you. But the thing is, it's not a joke. So I don't want people to think that, there's a magic solution to landing a job in 30 days and, you can just land a job in your sleep, unless you're very good in law of attraction and attracting everything to you. Very possible, but we're not here to misguide anybody. We're not here to mislead anybody. So disclaimer right up front, you can land a job in 30 days. I've proven it over and over every month when I run my program. It's not a joke. Is it for everybody? No. So let me cover a few things. How you can land a job in 30 days. And when I say it's not a joke, it's not. You can. But the thing is, there's some things that have to be in place. Your mindset. Okay, you have to be willing to shift your mindset, and you have to be willing to change, because the tips we're going to give today will only work if you're willing to change your habit, you're willing to change and do something different. Because what we're going to talk about is guaranteed. It's what you're not doing. It's not sit there and apply to jobs online, right? It's not have a resume. We're not giving generic advice here. We're actually going to give a lot of practical, doable advice, but it will require you to change your mindset, because you're used to doing traditional job searching, right? Also, if you have low self-esteem, getting a job in 30 days will not be possible, because you're going to have to first work on your self-esteem issues. So if you have low self-esteem, you're going to have to work on that first, because half the battle of getting a job in 30 days is you have to be 100% confident in yourself and your ability. Okay. Any other tips, Dean, you want to add on?
Yeah, I mean, fantastic tips there. And I guess a couple of more just to kind of add to that is, and number one, folks, you got to know what your target is. I think the biggest mistake, and I've observed this, working in recruitment as well. Many job seekers, the mistake that they make is they spread themselves too thin. Yeah, I'm looking for business analyst opportunities. Oh, I'm also open to PM opportunities. Oh, I also have some software development experience, so I'm open to software development experience, opportunities as well. And I can also do data analyst work as well, so I'm open to those type of roles as well. No, folks, you gotta narrow it down to like I would say one, but just to be flexible, maybe one or two, at most, like maybe one or two types of positions. But I would say focus and target your search to one type of position and one type of opportunity that you're looking for. The reason why so many people get confused in their search is, when you spread yourself too thin, you're marketing and pitching yourself in so many different ways that even you lose track of who you're speaking with, how you need to be pitching them on you, and what you bring to the table. So number one, you got to know what your target is. Hone in on one position, one type of opportunity, if at all possible. Now, number two is, and Gurpreet already mentioned this, you have to be willing to do the work, folks. All right. The finding a job, landing a job in 30 days, it's a simple process, but simple does not mean easy. It means you have to be willing to roll up your sleeves, do the work, commit to the process, and get things done. So you have to be willing to do the work. Number three is, don't be distracted by the pandemic. All right. So many people are sitting watching the news. You're letting the negativity get to you. You're letting the anxiety get to you. You're getting worried. You're getting concerned. But the fact is, do not get distracted by the pandemic, folks, because guess what? Pandemic, it might result in certain problems in the marketplace, but guess what? Problems mean opportunities, right? And the tech sector, IT sector has definitely stepped up to the plate, providing solutions in this new environment that we're living in, right? Where most of us are working remotely. Most of us have to, perform certain things in certain different ways. Many companies are undergoing digital transformations. So this is how IT and technology has stepped up to the plate. And that's what you need to be really looking at is, how has this created opportunities? And then the fourth final tip I wanted to share is, you have to build a strong brand. You got to build a strong brand, a powerful brand, which is going to get you through over the long term as well. And, myself, and I'm sure, Gurpreet can allude to this, can agree with this as well. Even though right now, folks, I'm running my own business and I'm not looking for opportunities. Every week I have staffing agencies reaching out, asking me if I'm interested in new opportunities, and I'm not even looking. And we're in the middle of a so-called pandemic as well. So a strong brand can do that for you, and it makes things much more simpler as well. So just a few tips there.
Okay, so let's get into the heart of this segment today. Is about how can you get hired in 30 days, though Dean's already kind of highlighted some of those tips. So let's get right into it. So we're going to go back and forth. It would be between me and Dean, but we're going to give you concrete advice on how you can land a job in 30 days, okay? So before I kick this segment and go right into how you can land a job in 30 days, I'm going to give everybody an opportunity now to take 2 minutes, okay, to grab pen and paper, open a notepad, Word document, wherever you want it, Google Docs, wherever you take notes. So I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes to do that, because this is going to be very important that you write this down, because last thing you want to do is show up today here and then not take notes, and then when the segment's over, what are you going to do, right? Half the battle is coming to segment prepared and taking notes, because when the segment is over, how are you going to retain the information, right? Like, you got to have something to fall back on. So I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes to go grab pen and paper or open a document, something wherever you can take notes, however you take notes.
Yeah, make sure you do that, folks. Something magical happens. I don't know about the rest of you folks, but when I'm attending a session, I'm trying to learn something. Something magical happens when you put pen to paper and actually take note of things. It really translates better, and I'm able to personally retain stuff much better. So make sure you take a couple of seconds or a minute or two, folks. Get your pen and paper. Be prepared to take notes.
So don't forget to, like this segment, show some love if you find it insightful. So show us some love. I just want to add that in there. Okay. So hopefully everybody got a pen and paper. Since there is a delay from LinkedIn to StreamYard, I will start. So as Dean said, first step into landing a job in 30 days is you got to get very clear on what is that you're targeting. So define your target. Define your target. Don't shy away from this. So the easiest way to define your target is, what are you targeting? What's that role you're targeting? What is that role you're ready for? What is that role that you are ready to take on? Define it. List it out. List the responsibility, list the duties. Also define what you don't want. Mm-hmm. It's very important to get very clear on what you don't want also. Because when there's an opportunity come and presents itself, you should be able to assess, do I want this? Do I don't want this? Is this aligned with what I want? Is this aligned with what I don't want? Okay, so that is step one. I'm going to jump into something that Dean didn't say. So Dean already covered define your target, know what you want. I'm going to actually jump into something. I think it's the most crucial part right now is before you begin your job search, spend some time researching on what's happening right now in the IT field because of the epidemic, right? What are some of the crisis moments that are happening in your industry? So be it security, be it find those gaps. Find those gaps that's happening right now because of the epidemic. So when IT is booming for a reason right now, but with all these opportunities during the epidemic where we're going e-commerce, deliveries are happening, you can place an order on Skip the Dishes, Uber Eats, and all this stuff. Look, as Dean said, so I'm going to just extend on what Dean said, look for opportunities. So that's what you want to do. First step is do research and homework on what's happening in the IT industry right this very moment, okay? What's happening? You want to be 10 steps ahead of the competition. I fully believe in this, is that you always want to be 10 steps every single day. You have to be a professional that is 10 steps ahead of the game. This advice is cross on for everyone. It's just not IT. You want to be 10 steps ahead of the game. So do some homework, do some research on what's happening right this moment in your IT industry. Find those gaps, find those problems, find those headaches, because that is what's going to get you a job in 30 days. Because when you know what someone's pain points are, what someone's headaches are, what is happening, and you can be the solution, you have to be a solution to someone's problems. So do that homework, do that research, and then identify what's happening, what are the problems. If, for example, if you're in the e-commerce market and you are really good in e-commerce, then find what is happening right now. There's so much opportunity for small businesses to get on the e-commerce platform. How are you going to get them to buy into this, right? Also, for example, delivery apps, gateway, there's Zoom just kind of like overnight. It's not an overnight success story, but meaning for Epidemic, Amazon, as well. Security is booming. It's a booming industry right now because of this pandemic. So first step is to actually educate yourself on what's happening in your IT industry, whatever your segment is. whatever your expertise, subject matter expertise is. Second best advice I'm going to give to land a job in 30 days is become a subject matter expert. You can be someone like me that probably does everything. Like, for example, I do everything in HR, but the thing is, that's not going to get you anywhere for a target base. So when you want to land a job in 30 days, you can get hired in 30 days, but you got to position yourself as an subject matter expert. So find that one thing that is needed this very moment in the IT field. And if you have experience doing it and you love it, become an expert, subject matter expert right now. If security is your thing, know that security industry, like, it's no one's business. Back of your hand. Be 10 steps ahead of everyone. This is the best advice I can give anybody that wants to land a job in 30 days. Anyone that wants to make more money in their career, you have to always be 10 steps ahead of everyone. That's how you make more money. Dean?
Yeah, I just want to add one more thing, because you mentioned something great about researching the industry, because you're going to see opportunities and so many problems that requires potentially someone with your skill set, folks. Now, I wanted to mention another thing is, don't focus just on the industries that are visibly benefiting from the situation. You also got to look at secondary industries, third level industries that also benefit, which support those industries doing really well. Now, quick example. If you go back to what Gurpreet mentioned when she was at the post office, right? So many people returning their Amazon deliveries. Guess what? Logistics industry, that's another industry doing really hot right now as a result of this increase in demand from the e-commerce industry. So look at other industries that are supporting these industries as well. So don't just look at what's visible. You got to do some research and make some observations in terms of, hey, what other industries that might not be as visible that are doing really, really well right now, and trying to keep up with the demand for all these various products, services, and solutions, and internally will require someone with my skill set. So don't lose sight of that as well.
That's a great point, because when one industry is booming, another industry has to support it.
Exactly.
Like e-commerce, without the delivery people, how can they can't coexist, right?
Yeah, exactly.
They can't exist without each other. Someone is placing an order, but someone has to deliver the order, right? So delivery logistics is hot. Deliveries in food deliveries is hot too.
Yep.
Because someone has to deliver the food, right? So drivers, again, it goes into logistics. So tons of coexisting industries that go hand in hand. So also do that. So second tip, going right into that, when you know the problems that are happening right now, this very moment, we're not talking about 5 years from now, okay? We're talking about this epidemic. Focus on the epidemic. You want to get hired in 30 days? Focus on the epidemic. Don't focus on the future, because no one can think beyond this pandemic right now, because we don't even know when this pandemic is coming to an end, and that's the truth, right? Yeah, great, vaccines here, but we don't have enough supply of vaccine for it to be just done in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
this pandemic is not going to be done in 2 weeks just because the vaccine was came and it came out in December and started distributing, but we don't have enough to go around for it to end in 2 weeks or a month's time. They're predicting like summer to fall. So that's 6-8 months right there.
Yeah.
So focus on this pandemic right now. Okay. Pain points, problems, and solutions. And then here's the gold mine. You have to present your resume solution to those problems. This is where the gap is with many people in their resumes, is they forget to write their resumes from a solution-oriented person. You're not a job description. You're not just someone who does troubleshooting problems or networking, or I'm a project manager and I can manage projects. But look at the solutions that you have delivered that are aligned with the problems that are happening right now in your industry, okay? So that's how you line your resume. That's how you also line your LinkedIn profile. And now, speaking of LinkedIn, speaking of resumes and LinkedIn, I'm gonna get Dean to walk through two things that's gonna happen right now. I mean, what he does as a recruiter, the Boolean.
Yeah, Boolean search. Yeah.
Okay, can you explain that to everybody? Because I think every time you talk about it, I think it resonates with some people, and it kind of makes sense to people. You know, when recruiters are looking at resumes, they don't have the time to sit there and read the entire resume first.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So how recruiters are going to be looking for your LinkedIn profile. So I guess let's start off with LinkedIn profile, right? Now, folks, recruiters are not primarily using LinkedIn jobs, which is the section where they post a job and wait for responses, right? And the reason for that is recruiters are expected to come back with the talent that they're looking for as soon as possible, right? They shortlist a couple of people to present to their clients. So what most recruiters are going to do is they're going to take a more proactive role where they're not just waiting for the right people to come. They're going to proactively search for people with certain skills. Now, recruiting is a skill that a recruiter's day is typically revolves around conducting those searches, right? So on LinkedIn, for example, Gurpreet mentioned we recruiters use something called Boolean searches, right? So that's Boolean. And it's where we use various skill set or keyword combinations in order to find the people that we're looking for. So, for example, let's say I'm recruiting for a client in the retail space.
Okay, hold on. Let me do a live demo on this.
Okay, cool. All right, go ahead.
Okay, so...
Yeah, actually, that's better. Yeah, so...
Okay, so guys, pay attention, take notes. I'm gonna Dean's gonna walk me through, and then I'm gonna show you how I do it. I think mine is a little bit different than Dean's. Okay, so I'm gonna pull up my LinkedIn. So let me share a screen. And I want you to pay attention. The reason I want you to pay attention, because I'm gonna, after Dean's done explaining how he finds candidates on LinkedIn, I'm gonna dig a little bit deeper onto why this is so important for you as a candidate. Okay, so when we are looking for a candidate, and when I call it headhunting, but I'm gonna just do what Dean's gonna walk me through. So say Dean is looking for, what are you looking for, Dean?
All right, so let's say so put in the quotation mark and put in project manager. So let's say I'm looking for a project manager.
Okay, I do a little bit different.
Okay, and so let's say folks, I'm looking for a project manager, right? So I'll be doing it like that. But let's say I want a project manager who has worked on let's say ERP projects. So actually, Gurpreet, go back to that search string you typed in. So at the end of that, put a space and then type in "and" in uppercase letters.
Oh, and?
Yeah, and then space again.
Yeah.
And then in brackets again, I want you to put ERP, yeah, and then close the quotation and hit enter. So what that search string does is it identifies people who have profiles matching those keywords combinations. So it has project manager and it has ERP. So now the recruiter actually has search results that might very well be people who are project managers and have worked on ERP projects. So now here's the thing: if you don't have those keywords, and I gave a very simple example, but it could be more complex than this, right? It could be industries, could be specific tools and skills and stuff like that. If your profile, folks, is not detailed and it does not have these keywords that recruiters are looking for, you're not going to come up, or you're not going to come up high up on the search results as well.
So this is why this is important. Is 90% of recruiters, talent acquisition specialists, people like HR as well. I use LinkedIn. I've been using LinkedIn for headhunting. Gosh, 5+ years.
Yeah.
No, actually 2011. 2011, and I started to use it heavily around 2015 when I started running my HR consulting full time. So I do the search a little bit different. So I'm going to walk you through how I do it. But in the end of the day, it still kind of props this. There's a little bit different results, but it's still the same results. So what Dean is saying, okay, why is this important? This is how you come up in the searches, guys. Okay. So if you want to tap into the hidden job market, I talk about making your LinkedIn SEO friendly, search engine optimize. Right here, we're doing a live demo of what search engine optimize profiles can do for you. Also, having search engine optimized LinkedIn headlines. That's why you should never write in your headline open to opportunity.
Yeah.
Because you're not showing up in anyone's searches. When just how we just did a live demo, project manager and ERP. If you don't have these words, you're not going to show up, right? If you have open to, you may show up. You may show up. So the way Dean did it is you will show up along as this project manager anywhere in your profile. Anywhere in your profile, right? So the key is you want to show up. Also, keep in mind, the way LinkedIn's going to rank you is if you pay attention. So I'm going to do a demo right here. Project manager, ERP project manager, ERP. People who have project manager and ERP project manager in their job, in their headline are the ones that are popping up first.
Yeah.
Pay attention to this. Okay? So this is why your headline is so important. This is what I talk about over and over. Make your LinkedIn profiles SEO friendly. You have to know your target in order to do the SEO part. You'll go cuckoo trying to search and optimize SEO, trying to do your LinkedIn SEO friendly if you're just targeting every job and every job out there.
Yeah.
Hence why we started the segment with when Dean said, know what you want and define your target. This is why target defining is better approach than just going buck wild and just applying to any job and you're open to doing this. You don't want just a job. This is your career, guys. Be very focused on how you want to grow your career. This is your career, so take ownership. Now, when you're just focusing on everything, it'll be a little bit hard for you to show up in people's searches. Because people are not looking for everybody. People are going to be looking for target, right? So if Dean is looking for a project manager that has ERP, specialized in ERP type of projects, that's all he's going to focus on.
Yeah.
And if you are a project manager that's never done ERP projects, he's not going to reach out to you. Are you, Dean?
No. I mean, if the client's looking for ERP experience, that's what I'm going to be looking for.
So that's why knowing your target, the job you want to get into, not the job you have, not the job you had, but really sit there and understand what is it that you really want and only go after what you want. So now I do my searches a little bit different. So I'm going to do the same thing, that use the same words. So project manager, I just do comma ERP. Okay. ERP. And maybe Dean's way is better.
Interesting. Okay.
So I don't do quotations or and.
Yeah.
I just do project manager, comma, ERP. And let's say I was looking for, what can be a third thing added here?
Retail or something like that? Retail?
Okay. So now this search a little bit got interesting because now it's showing project manager. So maybe your way is better. So now it's going to show me anybody that has project manager, ERP, and retail first. Those are the people that are going to show up first. So see retail manager, and they have infrastructure project manager, but ERP is not showing up. So I actually like your search better. So I learned something today too. Because I was doing it this way. I've always been doing it this way.
Yeah.
But let's say if we take away the retail. Tad bit the same.
Mm-hmm.
Tad bit the same. So anyways, okay, so I learned something. I'm going to do it your way now going forward.
Okay, cool.
I was doing it. I usually do it this way. I don't put anything in quotations. Okay, so this is why, guys, your LinkedIn headline becomes really important, is because those with those headlines, if you have to have those keywords in your headline to show up in the searches, because look, how many people show up? I think 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 per page, okay? So guess what? If all 10 people were exactly what I or Dean needed, we will reach out to these 10 people. I will probably reach out to a little bit more than 10 people because I don't know who's going to respond back. And that's it. I'm done my search. And if those people reply back, we're done our searches, right? So that's why if you've read my post from the last week, my blueprint of landing a job in 30 days, one of the things I talked about was having a LinkedIn, optimizing your LinkedIn profile, having your LinkedIn create leads for you. Your whole goal of your LinkedIn profile should be for it to generate leads for you. Don't just have a LinkedIn profile. This is where everyone's going wrong on LinkedIn, is that no one's setting up their LinkedIn profiles so that it generates leads for you. Your inbox should be where people are messaging, like recruiters, talent acquisition specialists. People are messaging and reaching out to you and saying, I have a job for you. So this is where everyone's downfall is that your LinkedIn profile is not generating leads for you. So I want you to now go and look at, so I'm going to do another demo, is now, how do you know what's working for you? So go to your LinkedIn profile and look at your dashboard. So who has viewed my profile? So look at this. I'm not even looking for a job, and I've appeared in 13,000 plus searches in the last week.
That's amazing.
That's a huge number, guys. Okay, I'm not even looking for a job. So post views, this is different, and then who's viewed my profile. So this is how many times I appeared in the search, and this is how many times people have viewed me. Okay, so go to your dashboard and look at how many times you've been coming up in the searches, how many people viewed your profile, but then also look at your DMs. Don't just look at this number and this number and be like, oh, my LinkedIn's working. No, this is only going to be working if you got DMs going, meaning people are messaging you. Okay, this number is great to see if you're showing up in searches, right? So if you are appearing in people's searches, but no one's reaching out to you, then there should be this light bulb going in your head. Ding, ding, ding. Wait, I'm doing something wrong. The wrong means that your LinkedIn profile wasn't interesting enough for the reader to want to reach out to you. It's not set up. It's not written to grab the attention. And many people are failing in this part. So your LinkedIn should be generating leads for you. Okay, so I just did a live demo where I want to, what's the saying? Put my money where my mouth is. Yeah. So that's what I just did by showing, if anybody ever doubts, all those people that have doubts about my program not working, I just did a live demo. Look how many times I've appeared in searches and I am not even looking for a job. My DMs are filled. Every day, I get maybe 20, 30 people messaging me every single day. And that's not a joke. Okay, my inbox is always full of people messaging me. That's when you know your LinkedIn profile is working for you. Okay, I have another strategy that I use, and that's me writing content, writing posts, and that's the other reasons I'm also paying higher in searches. Actually, no, searches has nothing to do with my posts. Post is what also creating people to DM me. So, Dean, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, look, folks, a lot of, I think one of the greatest mistakes so many people make is in regards to LinkedIn is not understanding that it's supposed to be a tool, just like Gurpreet is saying, that should be working for you. Now, to the degree to which it is effective and getting people searching for you or showing up in search results, making people want to reach out and communicate with you, is entirely dependent on how you're using it, how it's structured, how it's done. And going back to an example that Gurpreet provided, like your LinkedIn headline, like something so simple. I mean, who would have thought it would have such an effect on whether or not you're even showing up in search results, or whether or not it's making people want to reach out to you, right? So there's so many different aspects of the LinkedIn profile you need to keep in mind that are going to help you generate those leads, generate interest, and get people to want to reach out to you, communicate with you, and see you as someone of value. So, and this program that Gurpreet has created is like it's not just something that she just came up with on a Sunday afternoon or something, right? It's based on
I wish.
it's based on her own successes doing this herself.
So, great point. I actually didn't just create this program out of thin air. As an entrepreneur, I've learned a lot of things on selling, branding, and all that stuff. But I started teaching LinkedIn, like how to use LinkedIn, back in 2017. Well, that's how I met Dean.
Yeah.
And I was doing these free workshops on Instagram Live because LinkedIn didn't have a live. So I was teaching people on Instagram how to use LinkedIn. I was doing these live classes. And then 2019, I started teaching workshops on LinkedIn and other stuff like resume writing and all that stuff, because I just got tired of people struggling in their job searches. I see all these posts that it's been 6 months, it's been 5 months, it's been 4 months, I'm not getting a call, and this and this and that. And then I also saw people giving wrong advice, and I was like, nah, man, like this is just generic advice, and people are already doing that. That's why not getting results. So I can sit there and just keep writing, you're giving wrong advice and all that stuff, or I can become a problem to the solution. So I chose to be the solution to the problem. And then I started teaching workshops. I think I taught workshops for a good 6 months. I think about 6 months before I put the program together. Did the workshops and then led me to create the program. So the program does work. And the one we have for IT, Dean's a part of it as well. So you get 2 coaches, both Dean and I, in the IT, and that's starting next Saturday. So if anyone's interested in that, you can reach out to us. Okay, so so branding goes with also landing. If you want to get hired in 30 days, then start building your brand on LinkedIn. And LinkedIn's by far is the best tool to use to build your brand. Hence, me and Dean are a perfect example. Dean's already covered this part. Both of us are a perfect example of how much power brand building has to really elevate you and your career, and you can make more money. Okay, so you know what, I know we're going over, and I don't want to go too much over, so we have more advice, but let's take a little bit of a break from us talking. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna invite you to come on live. So I dropped the link. Okay, I'm dropping it on both on LinkedIn. I dropped it. That's the link for you if you want to talk to me and Dean. The goal here is we're going to troubleshoot your job search problem right here, right now, live on this segment. Pop on. The only rule we have is that you have to be in Canada or US. If you're not from Canada, US, unfortunately, we will not be able to assist you. So more than one people can join. We can do a table discussion, a group discussion. It doesn't matter. Everyone's welcome. As long as you live in US and Canada, you can join the live with us. I dropped the link, and we will troubleshoot your problem right now. Even if you see someone on live with us, still pop on, because I think I can have about 6 people at a time. Okay, so I've dropped the link. Now, don't be shy.
Don't be shy. Yeah, don't be shy.
Don't be shy, because if you snooze, you lose. Here's your opportunity to get free coaching from 2 coaches, not even one, there's 2, and it's free. Take it, okay? Tomorrow, don't message us and say you don't help us for free. Okay, here we are helping people. So hop on, jump on this call with us, and guess what happens when you're gonna come live? You're also letting other people know who you are. You also other people are going to become aware of you, right? So someone's going to discover you like that too. So take this opportunity. I've dropped the link once again. There's the link. We're going to troubleshoot your problems right here, right now. Join us. And who's joined? Device not connected. Okay, so this person hasn't joined. In the meantime, while we wait for people to join us, we're gonna go through questions that have been dropped into the comment section, and let's start answering those. But hey, we just openly gave you guys invitation to get coaching from us free right this very moment. So hop onto that link. Okay, so we already went over this. Ontario is declared a state of emergency. Will this affect job market? No. Dean, your thoughts on this?
Yeah. So Haram, sorry, I'm sorry if I pronounce your name incorrectly, my friend. Haramangvir. Yeah, I mean, look, whether it's in a state of emergency or not, folks, and this goes not just for you, Haramangvir, but for everyone out there. What you need to focus on, folks, is not panicking when there's a state of emergency or whatever it is they're going to be announcing next. What you need to focus on is, are there problems out there, and are these problems creating opportunities for me that allow me with my skill set to put myself out there and help bring those problems to a resolution. And that's what companies are willing to pay. That's what companies are willing to invest in people to be brought on. And that does not change regardless of the market environment, whether we're in a recession, whether we're in a pandemic, whether we're in a prosperous economy where everything's so great and wonderful. It's like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory or something. It doesn't matter. Companies and organizations hire for one reason and one reason only. They have problems, they've got projects going on, and they need someone with specific skills to come on to help them solve that problem. That's what you need to focus on. So don't sit in front of the news and get freaked out because of state of emergency or whatever is going on. Look for the problems, look for the opportunities. That's where you're going to be needed.
Okay, so great answer. We have somebody that's joined us.
All right, awesome.
I'll let her. Madhura?
Yeah.
Hello?
Hey, Madhura, how's it going?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah,
I can hear you
now.
Yeah, I am having a difficulty in finding a QA job. I have 5 years of experience.
Okay, hold on. 1 second. First, introduce yourself. Where are you tuning in from?
Well, I'm from India, and I'm a new immigrant. I'm here from the last 3 months, and I'm looking for a job.
Where are you located? When I said where you're from, I meant here in Canada or US.
Well, Ontario. I'm from Ajax.
So Ajax, Ontario. You are new to Canada. How long have you been here?
3 months.
3 months. Okay, so 3 months, and you're looking for your QA.
Right.
Automation, manual?
Both.
So you can do both?
Yes.
Okay, so why don't you walk us through first, what have you been doing?
Well, I was working for 2 companies basically. So,
sorry, no. Sorry, I should have cleared myself. What's your job search approach? What have you been doing in the 3 months? Because we're here to troubleshoot your job search problems. And the only way we can do that is first you got to tell us what steps have you taken in the 3 months?
In the last 3 months, I've been applying through LinkedIn, Indeed, and Monster. And I have also asked for a few of my friends if they can refer in case they have any job openings in their companies. And I got around 3 interviews. So where I reached till the technical round, and then I got rejected there. So I don't see a lot of calls coming to me. I don't know if there is a problem with my resume or the skills they are looking for. So I wanted some help regarding that.
Okay, so the interviews you got, Madhura, were they from the referrals or were they from you applying to the jobs?
Through the LinkedIn.
Oh, through LinkedIn. Okay. And what exactly? So these 3 interviews you got, like you said, you reached the technical round. So you passed the HR round and the initial rounds, but you can't get past the technical part of the process. Is that correct?
Right. That's correct.
Okay. Now, when you say technical part, are these like technical tests, or is it just more like a technical, like you're with the hiring manager, they're asking you technical questions, or what's happening there?
Well, in the first company which I attended, I got through the recruiter and then got into the technical round, which the technical round went on for, I think, about 2 hours or 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Then I could not get through that. And the second company, I cleared the technical round as well, but for some reason, the hiring manager did not recruit me. And recently, I had another interview in which again I was rejected in the technical round. I got to the recruiters, and then the technical round there were 2 guys, and then I got rejected in that round.
Okay, got it. So, I mean, my assessment just based on that, and Gurpreet, I'm gonna, definitely, I want to hear what your thoughts on this as well. My assessment so far, Madhura, seems like something is occurring on the technical stage. Maybe that's the level of preparation you put in. Maybe it's the technical environment they have in place. Maybe you don't have the exact kind of experience they're looking for. So, at a very high level, that I think that's what it appears to me, is that something is occurring at the technical interview. So, how much preparation you're putting in, whether you're preparing specifically for the environment they have, and you're ready to talk about relevant projects and relevant experience, I don't know, but I feel like that appears to be what the problem is at this point, at least.
Yeah, maybe that is correct. But another thing is because I usually ask the feedback. Like
Mhm.
somebody said me that you should always ask for a feedback, and when I asked the feedback, one company said that they got a better candidate, and the recent which I attended, so that company said. Because it was the exact thing whatever I was doing in my previous company, and I was having
Sorry,
a lot of.
Madhura, I'm going to cut you off just because we have other people, so we're going to a little bit move faster. So I'm going to give you a few tips. First, let me tell you what's happening. Your interview skills are weak, straight up.
Mm-hmm.
That's there's no buts and ifs about that. If you're not landing a job, and that's the main reason is how you present yourself. So from what I've heard, you either the hiring manager doesn't hire you because they found another candidate. Yeah, that is going to be the feedback. So anybody that's telling you to go get feedback is wrong, because you're not going to get a feedback. It's just going to be the other candidate's better, and which is the truth, right? Which is the truth. So I don't know what candidates are looking for. No one's going to sit there and pinpoint every single thing you did wrong. That is your job. That is your job, okay? So from what I've heard, from everything I've heard from you so far, I can tell you two major things that's happening is your presentation's weak, your communication's weak. So how are you presenting yourself in the interview? So that to me tells me your interview skills are very weak. If you're feeling on technical, that alone tells me that you're not for that job. So you don't have the technical experience, because why else would you fail the technical round? Technical round, there's no buts and ifs about the technical round. Technical rounds are done to assess your skills to the level that is needed to perform that job. And if you are failing in the technical round, that's a simple fix. The fix is that maybe you're going for job opportunities, you don't have experience. Maybe, as Dean said, you're not prepping enough. Technical round honestly is the easiest part to prep for, because it's all about your technical skills. You have to be able to troubleshoot all that stuff that they're going to test you on. And if you're tanking that, there's two things: either you didn't prep, or two, you don't have the skills that they need for that job. Last thing I want to ask you is, forget all these interviews for a second. What's your stats? How many jobs are you applying to, and how many interviews you've gotten?
I usually apply for around 15 jobs, 10 to 15 jobs I apply.
A day?
Yeah, a day.
10 to 15 jobs a day?
Right.
So that's the problem. How can you apply to 10, 15 jobs a day?
Because I find so many jobs.
10 to 15 jobs a week. But 10 to 15 jobs a day, let's go with 20 jobs a day. That's like 50 jobs to 70 jobs in a week.
Yeah, because I applied every day, and then I don't know if I'm doing it right or wrong, because things are new to me here. And when I come back to your answer, so do you think I have to prepare on my communication skills or anything, and brush up my technical skills and then go forward for it?
Well, let me ask you a quick question, Madhura. Right, like, are you able to pass the initial rounds usually, like the pre-screening or the telephone interview, or like what rounds are you able to pass?
Yeah, I am able to clear the recruiters. That is, I have never failed in the screening round, or through the recruiters.
Actually, first, let's take a pause for a second. When you say recruiter, are these recruitment agencies or recruiter in the corporate world?
Recruiters, recruiters in the company.
A drug company?
Corporate recruiter?
Yeah, not the consultancy, the ones in the company.
Okay.
Yeah, so I feel, Madhura, that the issue might be your technical, how you're articulating your technical knowledge or something of that sort. You said you can do both manual and automation. The roles you're applying for, are they manual or automation?
I'm applying for both.
If you could put a percentage, what would be the percentage?
Because most of the jobs that I see are for automation, so I'm applying for automation mostly.
Okay, so and your experience, like, is it more stronger on the manual side or the automation side?
I'm stronger in manual
Okay,
testing, but
so it might be a disconnect between the technical skills in that case, right? So most of the roles you're applying for are automation. Your experience is primarily on the manual testing side. So I feel there might be a disconnect when you're communicating with them. They can't see the technical fit. So I think that's the issue.
okay, yeah.
Also, the issue is you don't have a job search strategy. You're applying to jobs online, but applying to jobs online, that's only 20% of available jobs. And you're not
Okay.
the only candidate applying to those jobs, right? There's dime of a dozen.
Right.
Hundreds and hundreds of people applying for the same job as you. But keep in mind stats. This is why I asked you. I went straight into asking you stats because your job search struggles is everybody has to get in the habit of keeping track of stats of your own job search results, right? How many jobs are you applying? How many jobs are you getting interview for? That should give you a clear picture. Second, you're a perfect example of what we said, define your target. You are applying to jobs, both manual and automation, but you say you're strong on the manual. How are you going to get the automation if you're applying to jobs that are automation? Just because you have experience in automation doesn't mean you're the expert in the automation one. You may be the expert in manual, and by product of manual, you've done some automation testing. So know your target. 80% of all available jobs are never posted. Let that sink in for a moment for you.
So what do you think?
Ever posted. Ever posted. So you are struggling because one, you don't have a clear, defined target. You don't know what you're aiming for. You don't know what you want. So you're doing, well, I have automation. I have manual experience. I'm going to apply to all. Hence why I said 10, 15 jobs a day is a lot of jobs to be applying to. Okay, your focus should be 80-20. 20% of your time should be allocated to applying to jobs online. When you're applying to jobs online, you should only apply to jobs that you 100% match. This is the epidemic, guys. This is not, okay, I have 70% and 60%, let me apply. In this pandemic, it's employer's market. There's a dime and a dozen candidates right now because it's employer's market. So you should only be applying to jobs online, the ones you 100% have all the requirements. If you don't bother because you're not going to get a call, okay? And being a technical person, you know there's going to be technical tests. So if you're not passing those technical tests, no one's going to sit there and tell you why. You should be able to know why you're not passing those technical tests, okay? So only go for jobs. You know there's going to be a technical round. So why you waste your time applying to jobs that you may not have all the technical skills, because you're going to tank the technical test. And look how long that test is. An hour? 40 minutes, 30 minutes? Isn't time money? Isn't your time precious? You could be utilizing that time to jobs that you actually qualify 100%. 80% of jobs are never posted. Therefore, 80% of your time should be focused on hidden job market. Jobs are not posted.
So how do we approach that 80% which you're talking
about? That's what we teach. And that's not a segment we can tackle right now because we have other people that are lined up to get help from us. So we just showed one tool today on how you can tap into hidden job market is by having an SEO friendly LinkedIn profile. Your profile should be generating leads for you. So we gave one prime example on how to tap into the hidden job market. We have an IT bootcamp program that's starting next week that both Dean and I have been running. This will be our third batch. Okay. Fourth batch that we're running, and is dedicated to IT professionals like yourself. And we help you get hired in 30 days. So if you want to work with us, DM me or Dean, and we can send you additional information on this program.
Sure. Maybe I will be interested.
So DM us, and then we can send you more information and discuss the program with you. Okay, so I'm going to move on.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye. Okay, so next person is Anshula.
Anshul.
Hi.
Hey,
Hi, this is
Anshul, how you doing?
Anshul. Hi, I'm good. How are you guys?
Good, thanks. Good.
Are you in
Okay,
a
great.
condition to show your face? I
Oh,
like
no.
the people I'm talking to.
I wasn't prepared, honestly. So,
Okay,
yeah,
no
I
worries.
No
don't.
worries, no worries.
No worries. It's nice to see who you're talking to, and then you can build that relationship then to have just a name. Okay, so how can we help you today?
Okay, so yeah, I am in Toronto, and same like Madhura, I have been, I moved from India like 6 months back, which was June, of course, during the pandemic, and I have been actively looking for a job, and I get few calls from the recruiters from the company directly and also from the headhunters, but those calls and in the initial screening I clear, of course, and then I also land in the first interview, and then I just don't hear back from them. So either they have the role is on hold, or they have normally I get to hear that it's something they have internal they have moved internal people in those positions and stuff like that. So I'm not sure what exactly is going wrong, or maybe if there is something more, certifications that they're looking at. So I'm into change management, and I am aiming to get the ProSci certification done, which is towards the end of this month. I'm not really sure if that is something which is very, very important in Canada, because in India, I did not, it was all about my experience that counted. So yeah, I wanted to get some feedback and maybe more understanding or clarity on this from you guys.
Right. So Anshul, so first question is, you said you're usually making it to the first round of interviews. So who is that
Yes.
with? Is that usually with HR, or is it with the hiring team? Which round is that? Like, who do you usually meet with?
Okay, so a couple of them were with the hiring manager,
Okay.
and then I don't hear back. Maybe I'm not sure, but I'm kind of guessing it's because of the certificate that I don't really have. But others than
Right.
that,
Just a second, Anshul. So let's deal with this as you're explaining it, right?
mhm,
So I can tell you right away, the certification is not the issue, because if the certification was an issue, the recruiter would not have presented you to the hiring manager. Okay, so
okay,
it's I'm 99% sure the certification is not an issue, because the recruiter would not present you if that was very important. So
okay,
I would assume that something is transpiring on the interview call. So this could be how prepared you are, how confident you are in communicating your experience, all that stuff. The fact is that they're happy with what they see on your resume, obviously, otherwise they would not have scheduled an interview directly with the hiring manager, right? So keep
right.
that in mind. So what that leaves me with is, I feel that it's probably your interview skills. At least that's my assessment at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you think at your end is happening? Like, do you feel you're communicating effectively, or what's happening at the interview?
Honestly, I think it went very, very nice, because in the previous interview, I remember, it was, of course, as you know, these days it's all video calls. So I could see and assess the reaction from the interviewer. It was really good, and she was quite impressed. But then when I got a feedback saying there were two candidates, which was me and someone else, and she said if the other one couldn't make it, then I will be interviewed for the round two. And
Right.
perhaps, yeah. So I'm not sure what happened.
Nothing
And yeah.
happened. The other candidate was just better than you.
Yes,
No, but that's the truth, right? So I'm not going to
of
sugarcoat
course.
it. People need to wake up and smell the coffee, meaning realize things, right?
Mhm,
The
mhm,
thing is, interview is, you got to always be 10 steps ahead of your competition.
right.
This is where everybody fails. People think that they got an interview, so home run, and let's just, I'm home free and I don't have to do anything now. And the biggest thing that's happening right now is videos. Your interviews are all video. And I
Yes.
can tell you how many people don't even take video interviews seriously.
Yeah.
So 10 steps. I had a president of a CEO of a recruitment company join on Sunday segment, randomly popped up and said, people like his company helps their candidates get prepped for video interview, because it is important how you present yourself in the video interview. Because listen, you're not the only one. It's a competition. It's a competition.
Yeah.
People need to start seeing it as a competition. So why are you the best candidate, right? You gotta be that all-star candidate that everybody wants, and your interview is that opportunity to show that you are that candidate, like no brainer, right? It does start with presentation, how you present yourself. How is everything in the video presented? Are you sitting eye level to the camera? Do you have proper lighting? How's your background?
Okay.
How's the noise? Yes, I know it's a epidemic and kids are running around. You still want to take that opportunity to make sure you're sitting in a quiet room. And honestly speaking, that little things can make a huge difference. If you come across, like, look how me and Dean are presented right now.
Right.
He's wearing a blazer, I'm wearing a dress.
Yeah.
We're at home too.
Yeah.
We're at home too, right? So do we need to do all this? No, but it's a
No.
presentation. Would you guys
Yeah.
listen to us? Imagine if my hair was all over the place and I looked like I just woke up and I was just wearing a hoodie. Maybe you would. I'm not saying you wouldn't, because in the end of the day, it's all about what I'm saying, right? Then people can overlook that part. But the thing is, when you're going on interviews, the reason you may overlook that part for us is because we're not competing, right? We're here to give information and give tips and advice. But when you're in a competition, everything matters. I hate to say this, but everything matters, because if there's a tiebreaker between you and a candidate, then someone might be like, you know what, she wasn't dressed properly. Or and then I'm just this is like a very stupid example. It may sound stupid, but the thing is, sometimes you have such great candidates and it just could be one simple tie break thing, right? So there's tons of things leading up to an interview. You should never treat interviews like they're nothing, because there are everything. Hence, one of my LinkedIn posts was actually my blueprint of landing a job in 30 days is one of the things you have to do is have a strategy for every round of interviews on how you're going to close it. You have to close the interviews, guys. Come on. You cannot land a job if you're not closing those interviews. See, everyone, this is the second person. You're the second person coming onto this call talking about interviews, but yet what was your strategy to close that interview? Do you have a strategy? In every round, you should have a strategy, a game plan on closing. The goal is to close that interview. What do you do?
Can you share some tips around that? Like, what is exactly when you say strategy to close a call?
There's no tips. There's no tips. It's all about the approach, right? We can sit here and give you 100 tips. Right. What's the tip? I just give you one, your presentation, right? How are you communicating with the person? Are you having conversations? Are you building that relationship? What's your game plan? You know how many people, okay, so Dean can speak on this. I can speak. Both of us can probably speak forever on this topic, because 99% of candidates that I've interviewed in 15 plus years of my HR career tank interviews for the simple reason they didn't answer the questions. They didn't answer the interview questions. In their head, they probably thought they answered the question, but they didn't. The reason 99% of people tank interviews, they didn't prep. Simple preparation, and also answering questions based on what you think I want to hear versus just answering from your experience.
I agree.
And then what you do after the interview matters. And I don't mean send a thank you note. There's tons of things you can be doing after you leave the interview, and it all comes down to the questions you ask. Yeah. Do you ask questions in the interview? And when people say there's no such thing as a stupid question, in the interview there is such thing as a stupid question. I'm not trying to put anybody down, right? I'm here to give proper advice, and if you think there's no stupid question to ask in the interview, I'm going to tell you there is, and this is the other part. People are failing in interviews is nobody asks questions. No, you've answered all my questions. Oh no, what will I be doing? Like, these questions are not smart questions to ask. There are so many smart questions to ask in the interview. If you tuned into my Sunday segment, I gave one perfect question that every candidate should ask in the interview, and you should never leave the interview without asking this question, and that is, do you have any concerns of my ability to perform this role?
Right.
And the
Great question.
reason you want to ask this question, it's actually a very great question. Okay, it speaks volumes of you as a candidate. Second, you have to be open to hearing their concerns. Don't get defensive at all. Lastly, the number one reason you want to ask this question is because when we're in the interview and we're answering questions, maybe you talk too much and you give too much information. Maybe you talk too less and you didn't give enough information, right? That's the thing about interviews, is you have to find that balance. And then the biggest thing is you have to answer the interview questions. And when you ask this question, if there's any doubt or concern of you performing this role, if a manager or the person who's interviewing you has any concerns, now you're giving them the opportunity to address those concerns, because they're going to tell you and you're going to address them, and before you leave. Because the worst thing you can do is leave the interview and the person that interviewed you had all these concerns in their heads. Because in the end of the day, if I have concerns, I'm not going to tell you I have concerns. That's me writing, I don't know if this person can do this, right? So that's my assessment of you as a candidate. And when you leave, I'm going to say, well, you know, I have these concerns about this candidate. This is what I'm going to tell the hiring manager. This candidate was great, but here's my, like, some concerns. So I'm not going to, let's put it on the back burner for now, because we have all these other candidates for interviewing, right? Interview is a race.
Right.
Maybe not the best analogy, but meaning race as in, okay, are you ever gonna run a race to lose?
No.
You're gonna run to win, right?
Yeah, that's right.
That's what I mean by interviews a race. Approach it, your approach for closing. You gotta approach interviews to win it. That you want to close it. You gotta close those deals. Are you closing? And when people are telling me that when you go to the first round of interview, you don't make it to the second, right there for me, I'm only speaking from my perspective, that means your interview skills are weak. Because if you are going to second and third and fourth rounds, you're doing something right. But if you're not passing the first round, definitely your interview skills are weak. If you're not passing the second round, same thing, right? Every stage, you should have a strategy and a game plan to close those interviews. And if you don't know what to do, then you should get help, right? And that's why we're here. That's why we're coaches. We do provide those help. We do have program. We have amazing program just dedicated for IT professionals. And we've helped many people land jobs. You don't have to continue to struggle. And the other thing is, if you're struggling in your job search, is you don't have a strategy, approach. And this is why I'm so glad that we're telling people to come and talk to us, to show you. And the other reason we're doing this is to prove to a point to you guys. The reason you are struggling is because you don't have a strategy. But then you want the company to tell you. Company's not there to tell you what you're doing wrong. That's not their job. Get that? Let's get that part right. Company is hiring. They're a buyer, right? And their job at that moment is to find what they're looking for. They're not there to give you feedback. And this is that's just the mind-boggling part. I didn't get feedback, and I see all these people crying on LinkedIn for years. And it's like, okay, let me ask you a question. When you are a buyer, do you go get feedback? Every single person you talk to, and why you didn't buy their product and why you went with their competition?
Right. No.
So then why do you expect that you're an adult, a professional, who can troubleshoot their own problems? It's your job to improve. It's not the company's job to tell you what you're doing wrong, because they're buying and they're shopping and they're doing their part. You want a job, hopefully not just any job, but you are also looking for something, then you should be investing that. if you don't know what you're doing wrong, well, you're here, so we told you what you're doing wrong. How are you going to fix it?
That's correct. Yeah. I think I'll have to work
Everybody
around
has
those.
that. Everyone has that ability, right? So, so I'm going to jump on to next people. Hopefully this helps. Actually, Dean, you have anything to add?
Thank you. Thank you so
I
much.
just want to add one more thing, Anshul.
Sure.
From what I recall, you said that this was for a change management position. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So the other thing is, like Gurpreet was mentioning, presentation skills. Because you're in change management, your presentation skills, your soft skills become even more important had you been like a software developer or someone more technical. So you need to make sure you're showing you have the type of personality, the type of assertiveness for a change management position. So just keep that in mind, because that's something they're going to be really assessing you on your personality and your soft skills, because change management is not an easy role, right? You're dealing with change, you're dealing with difficult stakeholders. So if you're not conveying you have that type of personality, then that might be an issue as well. So just keep that in mind. But I hope this session was helpful, and thanks so much for tuning in.
I want to add something just before you leave, right? Change management. The thing is, the key to change management is communication.
Yeah, true that.
So how you communicate will speak volumes of you closing those job interviews and you landing a job. Because as Dean pointed out, change management is not easy. It's not easy to convince people to change.
Definitely
right?
not. Yeah.
So how you communicate and how you get people to buy in to the change is what's going to sell you to be the expert in change management. So what makes you the superstar in change management? Everybody should be doing this, okay? So everyone should be looking at what makes them a great professional in their industry. Like, what makes me an great HR person? What makes Dean a great IT recruiter? What makes you a great change management? But again, when I ask this question, people tend to stay on the fluff. I have this year's experience. I have this credential. None of this stuff matters, because your experience, your credential is not going to solve my problem.
Yeah.
Now, change management, it's all about getting the buy-in. Can you get people to buy in to change? If you can, you're a great change management, right? Because it's all about getting people to buy into the change and then leading the change, implementing the change, right? So first step is to get the buy-in.
Yeah.
Then the second step and third step and whatever, and all these other steps, then we get the full implementation of change, right? Then change has to be successful too.
Exactly.
So what makes you a great change management expert? Change agent, change management agent, I think it's called, or something like that. Change transformation. Like, you have to first ask yourself these hard questions, which a lot of people are not doing. A lot of people are just chasing jobs. Don't chase jobs. Don't chase anybody. Become the expert in your field and build your brand around it and showcase that you are that person that every company needs. And trust me, all of us have that power. But the thing is, you guys are chasing jobs. It should be the other way around. You're on LinkedIn, correct?
Yes.
Powerful tool that many are underutilizing. Powerful tool where you can literally build your brand on, I'm an expert in change, and this is how I get you results. Here's what you need to do. But you should be troubleshooting people's change problems every day on LinkedIn, just how me and Dean are doing it right now. Right? But again, that's how you get discovered really fast, and that's one of the ways to land a job in 30 days. And guess what? When you build your brand and you can get discovered and showcase what you bring to the table every single day, you can make, pardon my language, shitload of money.
True.
That's where people don't understand where we come from. Like, why are we doing this? Is because so many people, A, don't know how to job search. Second, people don't understand the power that they have and how much money you can make. And IT people, oh my God, you guys can make shitload. Like, I sometimes look at the salary and just like, I went into the wrong field. I should have pursued IT. I have an IT degree. But same with change management. See, the thing is, it's not about experience. It's about the delivery. It's about results. Can you get results? You can show people the results you can get and as a change agent expert, right?
Right.
Because right now we're all going through a change. Right now,
Exactly.
everyone's going through a change because
Yeah.
it's pandemic, right?
Exactly.
Look how many companies overnight had to transition into working from home. That's change. That was a big change that happened overnight. What did you
Sure.
do? What did you do about it? See, this opportunity. You snooze, you lose, right? This is what Dean said in the beginning of the segment is that one of the best ways to land a job and get hired in 30 days is identified opportunities. Identify opportunities in every given moment. There's tons of opportunities right now and you're sleeping because you're too busy. I need a job.
Yeah.
Wake up. Wake up and look at, oh my God, this pandemic, it's all about change and I'm change expert. But are you showing that?
Yeah, makes sense.
Because tons of companies need you right now. Tons of companies are struggling with change. Changes are happening every single day because of this pandemic. Lockdown, we're in a lockdown. Look how many companies had to go through all those lockdown. Quebec right now is introducing a curfew.
Yeah.
Change.
Yeah.
You're not identifying opportunities for yourself. You're too busy chasing jobs.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Sure.
hopefully that helps. If you need
Yes,
help
it
from me or Dean, feel free to message us and we can openly talk to you about our program that's starting next week.
Sure, we will. I thank you both so much, and I
You're
look
welcome.
forward to joining you guys. Thank you so much for your time.
Our pleasure, Anshul.
Thanks, you.
So I want to pull up this. I know Pino's wearing. If everyone was an expertise, no one would be an expertise. That's incorrect. What's your thought on that?
I mean, I'm not sure I understand what this what you're saying there, Mohammed.
You're saying if everybody was an expert, then we won't have experts.
Yeah, I'm not sure I agree. Yeah, I don't think I agree with that.
I don't agree. And this is how people fail in life and career is, if you don't like what we're saying, leave. There's no need to add negativity into comments. And there's a reason I'm highlighting this comment is this is why so many people fail, because there's someone out there discouraging people. You should become an expert. Why not? Why shouldn't you be an expert? We're all experts in something. Why would there not be an expert? If everyone became an expert, first of all, it's highly possible that everyone can be an expert in everything, but we can be an expert in one area or two areas. So don't take this person's comment seriously. Tune out the noise, guys. Tune it out. Tune out negativity and just really focus on what you want. I guarantee you, when you discover your, what is that passion, that thing that you're really great at and you're an expert in, start to show yourself as the expert for that thing. Like I show myself as an expert in HR. I show myself an expert also in job searching and career coaching. So I have two expertise that I am leveraging. We can have more than one expertise. But just don't be scared to go after what you want just because there are people in this world that will pull you down. But there'll be tons of people pulling you down. But just keep going, keep going, keep going. Don't listen to anybody. Just follow your passion and go for that drive. We have another recruiter that wanted to join us. Bino? Still there? I don't know.
Maybe he left. He's in the chat.
He said I'm here. Device is not connected, Pino.
Yeah, maybe it's a compatibility issue.
No, he was showing and then I don't know what he did. Add yourself, Dino, if you can hear us. Okay, so guys, we're here to troubleshoot your problems. We do have another recruiter that wants to pop on. So when he pops on, we'll invite him. in. So if you want us to troubleshoot your job search, you can join us. I can hear you. Pino, we can't hear you. Try exiting and coming back. Okay, he did that. Perfect. Okay, so we are here to troubleshoot your problems in your job search. Yes, the requirement is that you be in Canada, US. So if you want to speak to us directly, hop on. We're here to solve your problems. And let's do this. Dean, do you want to add anything while we're waiting?
Yeah. I mean, look, folks, you gotta also pay attention to where you're getting your advice from, right? There's gonna be many people, especially on the internet. I mean, people have so many opinions on social media, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, all these places. And I think a lot of job seekers, and I'm sure you agree with me, Gurpreet, are so confused because they're getting information from each and every angle possible. But always evaluate the source of the data, folks. All right, and that applies to myself and Gurpreet as well. Look into our backgrounds, research us, like see if it makes sense for you to follow us or follow our content, or pay attention to what we're saying. If you're getting advice from people who have never worked in recruitment, have never worked a recruitment cycle, never interviewed, then you gotta consider whether or not that advice has any value. So always evaluate the sources of your data and the sources of your information. It's very important. Otherwise, you're going to end up confused. You're not going to know whose advice to take, whose advice not to take. Does the advice make sense? Is it practical? Is it based on the real world? Is it based on some imaginary fantasy world? You got to make sure you evaluate that, folks. Evaluate the information, evaluate the data, do your due diligence, do your research before deciding whether or not to take someone's advice seriously.
I agree. To what Dean just said, there's tons of people giving advice, and hence I said don't get lost in the noise. It's really easy to get lost in the noise, but validate who's giving this advice. There's tons of people giving a lot of advice, and we're not here to discredit anybody, but you need to validate the advice you're getting and how accurate it is. And one thing, the way to try it out. Right? If it doesn't work, then it's not for you, right? I'm not saying that someone who's giving, some people are also, guys, keep in mind, some people are also just sharing their experience. Hey, I did this and it worked for me, so try it. But that doesn't make them an expert in job search. So keep that in mind too, right? Yeah. So always validate the advice you get. Don't be afraid to try things out. Try it out. If it works, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I would say one thing: have confidence in your own ability. Be confident in yourself, and don't let someone like that individual that said, for all the experts, and then we will have no experts. That's where I sit downers, right? Those are the people you need to tune out. There's tons of people that are just going to be downers and discrediting anything you have to say. Because they don't have the ability to do themselves. So no one should do it. So be mindful of who you listen to, and honestly, tune out the negative people. Tune out anyone saying that you can do this. You surround yourself with people that uplift you and motivate you and giving you that drive that, hey, you can do this. You can be anybody that you want to be in this world. And I'm serious about this. So a little bit off track from job search, but I think it ties right back into job searching or in the career. You can literally be whoever you want to be. Have the guts to be who you want to be. That's step one. And that goes back to landing a job in 30 days, also goes back to having confidence and believing in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, doesn't matter how many advice we give, you're not going to get it, because in the end of the day, you're going to be in front of a human being in an interview. And in the interview is where the magic happens, and also where the magic doesn't happen. Meaning, if you're in the interview and you're not confident, it's going to show. It's going to show. And you know what? If you don't believe me, let's hear from Dean. Who's interviewed how many candidates in 8 years? Probably way more than I have.
Thousands, yeah.
I'm going to say more than thousands.
Yeah.
And Dean, can you spot a candidate that has confidence versus a candidate that doesn't?
Oh yeah, totally, right? Because when you're interviewing candidates and you interview so many candidates, it's very easy to assess their level of confidence, and not just overall confidence, like the like a confident personality. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about confidence about the topic that they're covering, what they're discussing, and all of that stuff. So you need to make sure that you're able to convey that, and you're well prepared for the interview. What happened?
I spilled my
Oh,
water.
but yeah, I totally agree with you, Gurpreet. Very, very important. I think Pino's back.
Yeah, Pino said he's back. Freedom of expression. Yeah, that's what we're doing back, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You wrote a comment, and we're also sharing our expression. So yeah, no problem. Freedom of expression, but also kind of be mindful, guys. I understand there's freedom of expression, but before you type something, ask yourself, is anyone going to benefit from this? My 2 cents. Yeah, freedom of advice, freedom of expression. Okay, so if you want us to troubleshoot your job search problems, we're still here because we're waiting for Pino to come back on. Pino, by the way, is a recruiter, and he does focus mainly on HR roles, but he has something that he wants to share with the audience. I think people beat themselves up if they don't the job they want. Okay, Pino, are you joining?
Yeah, I think he's
Be patient.
Yeah, B. Yeah.
I'm here. No, add me. I can't add you. You have to click on the link.
You got to use that link, Pino. Maybe put the link in the comments again.
Here. Send me the invite. I'm sending it to you.
It's in the comments, Pino.
Here's the link. He came on. This is going to be interesting. Hey!
All right, there we go.
Okay, guys. So.
Oh, Pino, you're on mute. You're on mute.
This cannot get any better.
Oh, no, he's gone.
Oh, you know what he did? I know what he did. He removed himself instead of hitting the mute button.
Okay.
Oh, I was gonna say it doesn't get better any. Pino, you're gonna have to hop back on, and I can unmute you. Okay, guys. So this is about to get really interesting because we have another recruiter joining. Probably doesn't get any better than this. Whenever he joins. So now you can hear from another recruiter, and you'll find that though we are all HR professionals / recruiters and do recruitment, we're gonna have different perspectives. So this is actually will get really interesting when Pino comes on, because his perspective mine don't match a lot of times. I'm gonna unmute you. Why can't we hear you?
Hey, Pino.
You got to unmute your mic. See that little? It's
there should be a thing that says cam/mic, or sorry, not cam/mic.
Because I can't unmute you. You're gonna have to do it. It says unmute your mic.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think this is gonna work out.
Okay. Let me. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Okay, so maybe he's not meant to join us.
Yeah. It's a sign.
Okay, if anybody, last call. This is the last call for anybody that wants us to troubleshoot their job search problems. If you want us right here live to troubleshoot your job search, you want to get coached by me and Dean right this very moment, then all you have to do is click on the link that I just dropped again in the comment and hop right on. It will bring you right onto StreamYard, and then you can talk to us live. So we're taking live calls. In the meantime, let's see if anybody dropped a question. Here comes Pino.
No, he's still on mute.
You have to press. Okay, so see, look at your screen. There's so on the right side, on the right, there's a mic. Click it.
No, it's not.
I don't know. Maybe his
I don't know what's happening there. Yeah.
I have no idea. So this is not working. He's joined one of my lives with me. Actually, there was so I don't know. There's a mic issue maybe. Okay, so let's see if anybody has questions. If we didn't answer anyone's question, great inputs, Dean and Gurpreet. You're welcome. Hi.
Hey, Ratan. Shout out to Ratan. I know Ratan.
You know Ratan? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Shiva. I'm a software engineer QA looking for job change, but not getting response from company. Is it COVID-19 related? Let's try one more time.
Looks like no.
Your mic is muted.
Something's wrong with your mic, Pino.
It's your mic. It says your mic is muted. If you look on the right side.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Pino.
We can't hear you. Your mic is still muted. Okay, so guys, if you, while Pino fixes his technical difficulties, if you want us to troubleshoot your job search problems right now, you want to get coached by us right now, hop on. I've dropped the link. Feel free to hop on. If you are a recruiter and want to add value to our segment, hop on. Happy to open invitation for anybody that one needs help from me or Dean from job search perspective. You have to be in Canada and US. 2, if you're a recruiter, HR, listening to this and you want to add on to tips and advice, just like Pino has joined us, once he figures out his technical difficulty, feel free. I invite recruiters and HR to hop on, share their perspective so that we can have an open discussion and people can see the different perspectives on hiring and how people operate. Because at the end of the day, we are human beings. We do operate differently.
All right, so I guess let's. So Shiva's question is: I'm a software engineer QA looking for a job change, not getting a response. Is it COVID-19 effect? Well, here's the thing, Shiva. Are there QA opportunities out there? If there are, and you're not getting a response, the issue is not COVID-19. It could be. It is your approach. So we don't really have much more information about what you're doing, Shiva, to get yourself, interviews and what you're exactly doing. But I would say it's your approach. What you're doing. It's one thing to take certain actions to get get yourself interviews and stuff like that. But the other part is what exactly you're doing and how you're doing it, because that makes a difference as well. So if you're not getting responses, it's not because of COVID-19, because obviously there are opportunities out there. The issue is how you're approaching it.
Yeah, so I agree with Dean. I agree. It's probably your approach. Now, I can turn blue in the face by saying this. And I think we're always saying the same thing over and over because a lot of people don't understand. The reason you're not getting results, it's your approach. Everything comes down to your approach, how you're approaching your job search. So sit there and ask yourself, what's your approach? And also, I'm going to give stats again. 20% of jobs, available jobs are posted. That's a small little piece of the pie. 80% of jobs that are available, never posted. That could be many factors here, okay? It could be that a company hire recruiters like Pino and Dean to do a private search for them. So it's private. It's not going to be posted. It could be that we're headhunting, we're using LinkedIn, and we're finding the candidates on our own instead of posting it. I don't post. I don't like posting because I get better results by me headhunting and finding candidates. It could be there's no opportunity at the moment, but when there's like right candidates sharing and smacked in my face from a hiring manager, I've seen jobs get created on the spot because there's a great candidate that was right there in front of the hiring manager. Sometimes hiring managers don't even know they have a need until there is a candidate standing in their face, be like, oh, I actually need this. So tons of reasons why tons of jobs are in the 80% and they don't get advertised, tons. And there's tons of strategies to tap into that. So in our program, Bootcamp, land a job in 30 days, you can get hired in 30 days. We teach more than 6 strategies on accessing the hidden job market because there are tons of ways to access the hidden job market. You don't even need to network, by the way, to tap into the hidden job market. If you're not great at networking, You don't need to do it to tap into the hidden job market. You don't. One tool that I just showed was LinkedIn, right? Like have your LinkedIn generate leads for you. But there's another tool on LinkedIn that you can use. There's tons of tools in today's world that we can use that weren't available to us. Definitely wasn't available to me when I started my career, but they're available now. And that's why tapping into the hidden job market has never been easier without networking. Before, you had no choice than to network, right? Now you don't have to network to tap into the hidden job market. And if you don't believe us, we're living proof right here, right in front of you. We're not networking with nobody, but you're here today because brand building, right? You follow us, you read our post, you want to show up to this LinkedIn Live. So tons of ways to access the hidden job market. So I'm going to end the segment here. I don't think there's anybody that needs help. So we'll end it here because we're almost going to hit the 2-hour mark, and I wasn't planning to do it for 2 hours. But keep in mind, guys, it's very, 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 very possible to get hired in 30 days. You don't believe us? Hopefully today's segment has showed some proof. You don't believe us? I dare you to, you don't have to believe us. Actually, what I want to say is I dare you to think different. I dare you to approach your job search different. I dare you to stop applying to jobs online. By the way, high-paying jobs really don't get advertised, to be honest. A lot of high-paying jobs barely get advertised, okay? So dare to think different and dare to do things differently. When you can't keep doing the same thing over and over and over and expect a different result. You just can't. That's the sad part, that you guys are such smart people, but yet when it comes to job search, people just, I don't know, get tone deaf or blind and just keep doing the same thing without realizing, wait, I'm doing the same thing. How can I get this? I'm not going to get any different outcome. I'm going to keep getting the same results. So those are my ending remarks. Dean?
Yeah, I mean, look, folks, you gotta first of all, like I said, know your target. Secondly, you gotta be able to, I mean, your communication, your presentation skills are extremely important, and dare to think different. Just like Gurpreet said, like if you go in with the attitude that it's not possible to land yourself a job within 30 days, yeah, you're probably not gonna land a job within 30 days, right? Because you're already going in with that mindset. So adjust your mindset, go in with the right mindset, and figure out the right strategy, the right steps to take to get yourself that job. And if you have any questions about the program or if you need any more advice, feel free to direct message myself or Gurpreet.
If you need any more advice, tips, feel free to follow Dean. Feel free to follow me. And if you are struggling in your job search and if you are ready to land a job in 30 days, you want to get hired in 30 days, we want to work with you. We're not coaches for everybody. We are coaches for those that are just, I'm done and I want those results. I want to be my dream job. I don't want to wait anymore. And I'm willing to do anything and anything to get that job. No buts, no if. I'm just going to do it. We want to work with you because we can get you results. We work with driven people that just, I'm going to do anything and anything to get that job that I want. And we have all the strategies, proven blueprint. You can read my posts. So our IT program that is just designed for IT professionals. And when we say IT, we mean any IT. Long as you're in the IT field, QA, project managers, software developers, iOS developers, app developers, back-end, front-end, doesn't matter what IT industry you come from. I've recruited so many IT people from so many different domains from IT. So has Dean. Dean's worked with few different types of IT professionals, but our program works regardless of where you're in the IT field. It is IT. This one that's starting next Saturday is dedicated to IT. And we also have links in the IT industry, so you get to leverage that too. We post jobs in the private Facebook group that are part of our network. I also have connections with a couple of recruitment agencies in IT, same with Dean, and we use those, we leverage those, we also leverage that as well to help you land that job where we can. Keep in mind, it's where we can. So the program does work. If you want to learn more about this program, feel free to reach out to Dean or myself. Happy to jump on a Zoom call, show you the back end of everything you're getting in this program so that you get a full, clear understanding of what you're getting for. Yes, it's a paid program. It's not a free program. Pino's trying to get on again. Nope, not working. Okay, Pino, we're going to give up.
We tried, Pino. We tried.
Okay, so that's our segment today. I'm going to be live with Dean tomorrow on Dean's LinkedIn Live. We're covering a different segment. So feel free to join us. Nope, not working.
Nope. See ya, Pino.
Last attempt didn't work. Maybe next time, Pino. Okay, so I will be live. Dean's doing a live tomorrow, 11 a.m. So please follow him. I will be joining his live tomorrow to talk about my blueprint for landing a job in 30 days. So tune in tomorrow. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us, and we will see you guys tomorrow.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Have a good one.